G'day guys, welcome to the weekly roundup. This is where we go over all the latest news from around Australia and the world ahead of a big weekend of boxing. Let's get into some of the news of this week, and of course here in Australia, it was the big event on Wednesday night. Nikita Tszyu moving to 8-0 with a fifth round demolition of the previously unbeaten Dylan Biggs. He drops to 10-1. It was for the Australian Super Welterweight title. A very, very impressive performance by Nikita Tszyu. If you haven't seen my review of it, make sure you check out our YouTube page here for the full overview of this fight, plus all the others on the card. But really great performance by Nikita Tszyu. The first belt of, I'm sure, which is going to be many belts for Nikita as he plays catch up to his older brother, Tim Tszyu. So, as I said, another great performance by Nikita. On to the co-main event. Isaac Hardman with a fifth round stoppage over Englishman Troy Coleman. Isaac Hardman improved to 15-2. Troy Coleman dropped to 12-3. That was for the WBO Intercontinental Middleweight title. So another very, very good performance by Isaac Hardman. Seems to be on the track to another world ranking now. I think he actually already is world ranked. So I'm sure you'll see him step up in the next 12 months. So very, very good performance by the head splitter, Isaac Hardman. For the rest of the card, a couple of upsets there. Joel Pavlidis with a massive upset over Monir Fathi. This is a guy that was lauded by Jeff Fennick during the week as maybe being a potential world champion. So he was 6-0 with 6 KOs. He's now 6-1, of course. Pavlidis improves to 5-2-1. The official scorecards 58-56 times 3. So a very, very good performance from Joel Pavlidis, who has had some setbacks early in his career, but a couple of good wins in a row now at middleweight. So plenty of good opportunities for him in 2024. The other massive upset on the night, Brandon Grush, the big heavyweight from Newcastle, with a sensational second round knockout of the previously undefeated Liam Taliva. Liam dropped to 5-1. Brendan Grush 2-0 in what was probably the round of the year, if not the fight of the year, if you can do that in a round in 15 seconds. But Brendan Grush hit the canvas early in the first round, returned the favour to Liam Talifa later in the round, and then in the first 15 seconds of the second round, ended the fight with a massive left hook. So congratulations to Brendan Grush, a fantastic performance up there in Newcastle. The rest of the card, Mark Schliebs returned to form with a fifth round knockout of Shamal Ram Anuj. He improves to 13-2. Shamal Ram Anuj drops to 10-5. Mark Schliebs has had a couple of losses in the last couple of years, but got back on the winners list with a very impressive knockout in his natural division at bantamweight. So again, some maybe some big fights for Mark Schliebs in 2024. We'll see what No Limit have in store for him. In the other fights on the undercard, Amber Amelia dropped a sixth round decision to Natasha Kurin. Kurin very impressive. She won 59-55, 58-56, and 58-55 on the other card. 59-55, I should say. So I sort of felt for Amber Amelia. She gave away a lot of height and reach to Natasha Kurin. I think, and I said in my review, I think she needs to go back to bantamweight, if not super flyweight. So we'll see what she does in 2024. But again, congratulations to Natasha Kurin on a very, very good performance. Jason Fawcett with a fifth round decision over Jordan Martin. Pretty close fight in the end, but the official scores were 48-46 times 3 in favour of Jason Fawcett. He improves to 7-1. Jordan Martin drops to 2-2. And on in the final fight on that card, very impressive performance by Darren Gara Truella. He was making his debut. He won a 4-round decision over Brent Walton. He drops to 1-1. The official scores there, 38-37, 39-38, and what's the other one? 38-36. So, 38-38. So, very good performance. I think that was the card. Apologies if I got that wrong. But either way, Darren Garlatrella with a impressive performance. It was close, but as I said, very impressed with Darren Gara Truella, the cousin of Anthony Mundine. I'm sure he will go on to better things as well. All right, some other big news on the Australian front. The drums are beating that he's going to be George Kambosos against Vasily Lomachenko in Perth in April 2024. George Kambosos 21-2, coming off that IBO lightweight title win over Maxi Hughes against Vasily Lomachenko 17-3, coming off that controversial loss to Devin Haney back in May. So there are some other cities in the mix at the moment: Melbourne, Sydney, maybe Adelaide, but at this stage looks like Perth will be the likely location on what will be possibly or arguably the biggest fight hosted here on Australian soil. I'm sure Jeff Horn and Manny Pacquiao might have something to say about that. But either way, it will be a massive event for Australian boxing, and George Kambosos and Lomachenko will fight for the vacant IBF lightweight title. The talk is that the title will become officially vacant after the Devin Haney Regis Prograis fight on December 9, and then they can start the official launch of this fight and the promotion and all that sort of stuff for April in Perth for George Kambosos, Vasily Lomachenko, and what a massive fight that will be. And it's just another example of just the stage that Australian boxing is at the moment, when these big fights are just rolling off the production line one after the other. This weekend, Sky Nicholson will fight Lucy Wildheart in Dublin on the undercard to the Chantel Cameron Katie Taylor fight. Sky Nicholson 8-0, Lucy Wildheart 10-2 will be for the WBC interim featherweight title. At the weigh-in today, Nicholson weighed 125.5 pounds. Wildheart weighed 125.4 pounds. Sky Nicholson coming off a 10-round decision over Sabrina Perez in September. Lucy Wildheart with a 10-round loss to Michaela Mayer in April. So it should be a really, really good test for Sky Nicholson. Big card to be a part of. It should be massive. And Lucy Wildheart will come to fight. She'll be no doubt Sky Nicholson's biggest test to date. But I'm pretty confident Sky will have her measure and will win a decision over there. Yeah, good on Sky Nicholson going from strength to strength. Another female Aussie boxer on the big stage will be Desley Robinson. She'll fight Lani Daniels for the IBF female light heavyweight title, Mackay Stadium in Whangarei, New Zealand. So all the best to Desley Robinson as well. On to the world scene. We've got a big weekend in Vegas. David Benavidez with a defense against Demetrius Andrade this Saturday, the WBC interim super middleweight title, I think it is. So it'll be on Sunday, Australian time. It is live and free on Fox 507. So check that out. Jamel Charlo on the undercard, 32-0. He'll fight Jose Benavidez Jr., 28-2-1. So that will be the main support of that. Speaking of that fight, Jamel Charlo at the weigh-in, 3.5 pounds overweight in what was already a catch weight fight. So he weighed 166.4. Benavidez weighed 161.2. So I think the negotiations are happening there that the fight will go ahead. I think the fight's too big to not be on that card. It is a pay-per-view, remember, so they need this fight to be part of that card, or else they might have a bit of blowback from their supporters or their purchasers out there. So I'm sure they'll get something done there. But the main event, David Benavidez, Demetrius Andrade, the winner will most likely get Canelo Alvarez at some stage in 2024. So really looking forward to this fight. Both fighters undefeated. Andrade will no doubt be, well, I was going to say will be the biggest test for Benavidez, but maybe arguably because he's fought Caleb Plant, of course, as well. So either way, it should be a great day of boxing. Just on the undercard, Jamel Charlo, who said he also wants to beat Benavidez or Andrade to the punch and fight Canelo on Cinco de Mayo next year in May 2024. Benavidez has said at the same time, if Canelo doesn't want to come to the party, he's open to a fight with Terence Crawford. Could you imagine the size difference in that fight if Benavidez fought Crawford? But either way, still plenty of fights to be made in 2024. Doesn't really matter who fights who. I'm sure the way things are going at this stage, that we are going to get some big fights next year. Just speaking again on the Chantel Cameron Katie Taylor fight, as I said earlier, we'll be in Dublin this weekend, Dublin, Ireland, for the world undisputed super lightweight title. Cameron defeated Taylor by 10-round decision back in May, also in Dublin. At the weigh-in, Cameron weighed 139.5. Katie Taylor weighed 139.6. On to another Charlo. This is Jamel Charlo. This is, of course, we all know him very well here in Australia in regards to Tim Tszyu. Well, he's given up another belt. This time it is the IBF 154-pound title. He gave it up instead of fighting the Russian Bakram Murtazilov. Now, the Russian will likely fight Jack Kolke for that vacant belt in 2024. So where does this leave Jermall Charlo? Of course, he's already lost the WBO belt that Tim Tszyu won. Now, that was actually stripped from him. This has actually been vacated by Jermall Charlo. So you have to wonder where Jermall Charlo is at. Now, I know there's been a little bit of chatter about maybe this could open the door for Charlo to fight Tim in March. But if you ask me my personal opinion, I don't think there's any chance whatsoever that Jermall Charlo will fight in March. He does normally fight once a year, once every 18 months, whatever that might be. And the fact that they only fought in September, I just don't think that's going to be viable for him. Let's hope I'm wrong. But at this stage, it looks like Tim Tszyu will fight Erickson Lubin in March. I haven't said that earlier because it's still sort of just conjecture at the moment. But the word is on the street that Tim Tszyu will fight Erickson Lubin in early March. Now, he has actually said March the 2nd, but it still has to be confirmed because I said again on my show last week that it has to work in with PBC. They're not going to care that the rugby league is on that weekend. They will do it to whatever suits their schedule and their fighters. So let's hope I'm wrong again, and it is on March the 2nd. But don't be surprised if that fight lands maybe a month after March 2nd. So we'll keep the fingers crossed it is on that weekend with the rugby league, especially for all those rugby league fans going over to the States for that. It'd be nice to tie that in, and vice versa, the boxing fans over there who might want to catch some rugby league as well. So a lot to play out in that arena. But at this stage, Jermall Charlo, 2 belts down. What belt will be next? It doesn't probably look like it will be the WBC belt, of course, because they've looked after his brother very, very well. And the other one is the WBA, who are a little bit unpredictable as well. But all things said, 2 belts down, and we'll see what Jermall Charlo does in 2024. Now, the other big fight maybe being talked about next year is a possible Ryan Garcia-Gervonta Davis rematch. So Garcia is 23-1. He's fighting Oscar Duarte on December 2nd in Houston, Texas. Duarte is 26-1. Garcia has said that once he gets past this, he wants a rematch. I, for one, don't think he deserves a rematch. I think he was beaten comprehensively by Gervonta Davis in that first fight. I do sort of agree that Garcia says, well, he's the one that sold all the pay-per-views. I understand it's a business. I get all that. But I wouldn't be surprised if Gervonta Davis targets the winner of Devin Haney and Regis Prograis. There is possibly the fight, of course, maybe against Kambosos and Lomachenko, but that would not be till the end of 2024. So a few options there for Gervonta Davis, but he needs, I think, to fight fairly soon because he hasn't obviously fought since the Garcia win earlier in the year. So anyway, there it is, guys. That is the weekly roundup. Not a lot to go over this week, but I'll keep you up to date as much as I can. This might possibly be the last one of the year. I'm heading overseas next week, so there won't be this one, but keep up to date with some of the other videos I'll be putting out, some previews, reviews, all that sort of stuff, and we'll see if we can keep you as informed as possible. So thanks again. Have a great weekend watching the boxing, and we'll catch you next time.